Tom Grossi. Uh, I today saw my favorite stat of maybe the last 5 years, 6 years. Greatest stat ever.
Okay. What was the stat?
The stat is since October, the month of October started, Derrick Henry has more passing touchdowns than one McCorkle Jones. Derrick Henry, Titans running back, has more passing TDs than Mac Jones. I did a little digging as well because I'm like, you know what? Ryan Tannehill hasn't been playing that well. Luckily, Ryan Tannehill threw one touchdown October 1st because on the season, Tom, Ryan Tannehill has 2 passing touchdowns to Derrick Henry's 1. Imagine if those guys were named Russell or Zach Wilson.
The poor
Imagine
Patriots
if Tannehill
fans
had the last name Wilson.
who just walked in and catch strays before the show even begins. They know that we're not talking about them. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, baby. We here. You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is G a P S. Let's effing go, baby. Let's effing go. I'm excited. Hell yeah. Let's listen. The GPS Bowl inches closer day by day.
Ooh.
It is going to be so.
There you go. Bilal.
It is going to be so legendary. Brandon Perna, Tom Grossi streaming the Packers Broncos playing each other for the first time in history. And I'm still checking donos at the corner of my eye.
I hope to God that game comes down to the final drive. Good game, bad game, as long as it comes down to one team is going to win it at the end. Oh my God. It just can't be a blowout.
If we lose to you.
It can't be a blowout.
No, it can't. Cannot. No, please no. It's got to be like a close game, go down to the bitter end.
Yeah.
That's it. I saw that. So someone submitted that at the end for him to say.
Yeah. You know what the best part about that is too? Like, because a bunch of people tagged me in that.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that must have been like a highly liked comment. No, it had 1 like on it. The screenshot shows 1 like. So that kind of was like a punch to the ego. I'm like, oh, a bunch of people are like, yeah, let's hear this one. And it was one guy was like, let me post this. And one other person was like, yep.
Sometimes it just takes one guy. That's it. Sometimes. There's a great video featuring Brandon Perna about how to be a fan of a bad NFL team. Just going to put it out there right now.
Go check out Tom Grossi's video on how to do it. My suggestion is to just never have hope.
Never have it.
Nope. Never have it.
That video came out well. I'm happy with that video.
Yeah, that was a great concept. It was like somebody had a really good idea. Kind of like assisted you there, you know?
You just were like, here you go. And I was like,
here you go.
Boop.
You know, it was a better idea for you. I'm going to give you it if I ever think of it.
Did you get another wheel? Wait, what happened to the wheel?
I don't want to spoil power rankings today. Tom and I are going to talk about power rankings the second half of this episode, okay? But make sure you guys watch my power rankings. Curse wheel got broken. Curse wheel got broken.
What do you mean it got broken?
I didn't like who it cursed, and I hit it. And it busted. And now the team that it got, I'm wondering if I broke the curse for them, what it means on a bigger scale.
That is like, you watched Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when Rod is like, the coffee machine burned me, so I punched it. Like, that's what that sounds like.
Yep. I was just not happy. So it broke. It's really not fixable. It'll still spin. So I think we got to just roll with a broken curse wheel for the rest of the year.
I think you spin that broken one. I think you 100%
Ooh, all right.
spin it.
Most sane. Interesting take.
Yeah, honestly, that's pretty impressive.
Here's the thing.
Trash.
I am sorry. Yeah, it did, Max. It did. It did. It
Wait,
did.
did you curse the Lions?
I don't know. Everybody needs to go watch. Go make that power rankings. Let's see. How many likes does it got? It has 1,180 likes. Let's get that bad boy up to 2,000 likes right now.
There you go.
I'm a little nervous because I posted it so early. Now I'm like, oh, it's going to tank.
Nah, but it'll pick up at the like throughout the day.
But okay, so something really cool is going on with Underdog, with the Packers Broncos Grossi Perna Bowl this week. We'll talk a little bit more later. But anybody who's used the code GPS or who will use the code GPS to sign up during the stream of the game, we're giving away $1,000 in Underdog credit 3 times
every hour.
One every hour.
Yes.
As long as you have an Underdog username that you signed up with our code, there's a link right now in our description. You can just enter your username, and you can qualify to win that $1,000 in free Underdog credit. We've also got, for anybody who signs up, a special that is just available to our users, correct?
Yeah, so hold on real quick, Perna. Let's just because even I was like, oh, this is interesting. So, all right, Underdog always does stuff, which is cool, right? They do the specials and all that great stuff. But they made one specifically for GPS, and I'm pretty sure, hold on, I want to read it because like I popped a little bit when I saw this. It was pretty cool. Hold on. It's just like our little show is come a long way. It's cool. It's a nice little thing. It says GPS, you've been navigated to a special. Like that's pretty cool, right? And apparently, again, brand new. I thought it's existing too.
Yeah, existing users.
Cool.
And new users it's existing users, I believe, who signed up with our code. So this is inside. Yeah,
so it's literally just for GPS folks.
Yeah.
So again, you could do that, and because they want to support the channel. So anybody who's ever signed up with our code, or if you sign up now, we're doing during the stream. All you have to do is enter your username in the link down below, and they're giving away $1,000 in free credit every hour during our stream. So yeah, 3 times. So
very cool. So we'll have you can use that Pick'em special. It's they asked like, who did we want to do the special with? We're like, yes, definitely do Russ for half a fantasy point. But yeah, sign up with our shit, and we're gonna navigate you to a special.
Trav, what up, Fanny?
Trav.
It's a big burner moment. That was a pretty big burner moment. That was.
Yeah, first comment today in my stream that I'm a boomer.
I'm gonna have to get a boomer clip. I'll give you this.
Yeah, we do need a boomer clip. I think
a boomer clip.
Yeah,
we need. You know what? I'll give this to you, Brandon.
All right, so game 1 of the divisional round is done. The Kansas City Chiefs, they move on.
Still a great laugh.
Nobody's gonna convince me that that's not Seth Rogen watching the game.
It might be. Yeah, we'll talk about power rankings. We're gonna talk about. Yeah, you did. That is true. That is accurate. Apparently he should be playing. So
you're gonna be fine. Imagine though, if he were really injured, the Colts lose, and there's like a freaking beeping going on.
It's all good, Alan.
The hell is that?
Right. What? You all right?
Sorry.
You got ghosts?
Alan, I think like I'll check on if you signed up with one of my codes if it applies. I think we can make that work.
There you go. Boom. Luke with a 69er. Boop.
Ooh,
Nice.
Luke,
Oh, I got you.
You're gonna get it. You're
Oh,
gonna get it, Luke.
I got you. I just saw it too, and I was like, damn, I love this.
Oh, you fat with a 3. Yes, I just said that. That is that man's name. Don't tweet at me.
I think every best GPS clip like ends with a laugh.
Yeah,
Like,
they
it's that
really
Seth
do.
It's that, of course, Scooter Elway. I mean, there's just so much. So much. Appreciate you, Luke. All right. I've fallen. I can't get up. Wait a minute. We should get Johnny Bark. You all right, Brandon? Something's going on in the background, and I don't know what it is. But I'm ready to fight anyone who it is. I think if we get Johnny Barks to edit Brandon Perna's face on that clip of I've fallen and I can't get up, I feel like we can make that work. I feel like we could really do it. So, hello, we're going to force it to go. I don't know if anything's going to be higher. What we're going to see on Sunday might be abysmal to the human eye. Like there's a good chance that that does happen. But we're going to make it through. We're going to make it through. And Johnny's on it. Done. Nailed it. And we're talking to the chair. And we're doing that. I think the Patriots could be bad enough, but then again, like right now, you good? You good?
Yeah, I think it's coming from outside. Want to make sure carbon monoxide detector wasn't going off and everybody was dead upstairs, so we're good.
I would have put a damper on the show. Yeah, I would.
Hey guys, my family died. I'm gonna make it through the end of the show, but after that, please respect my mourning.
Like the time of day or morning with you?
Yeah, just I'll mourn through the morning, and then we got football videos to talk about.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay.
How good is Jared Goff, really? Let's talk about
it. We want to know. We want to know. So yeah, it's the Bears' pick right now. So I mean, maybe if they trade out of it, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's. He's just fire in his gut.
I got fire in my belly.
Fire in his gut. All right, we have so much that we want to talk about. Yes, I do think the Texans have a legitimate shot at the division title. I think it all depends on what's going to happen with the Jaguars, because I think like the Titans, bro, I don't trust the Titans no more. Like I'm done.
No, they're dead.
Nope, they're done. The Colts, they're dead. Sorry, like it's I don't think that's going to work out. I like Minshew a lot. I know you love him, Perna. I just don't think that that's going to be the answer there. So,
yeah,
I do want to talk about before we get into anything, because there's a lot of craziness going on.
Yes.
We have not met since Monday morning, so we didn't get to talk about the Monday night game between the Cowboys and the Chargers, right? And Dak had himself a good game, right? Didn't have any turnovers. Everyone was waiting for the interception. I just feel like that game wasn't a great display of either team still, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was like, listen, Dak played really, really well, and I want to give him all the props for that because he gets a lot of crap, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about, like, good God, man, the decision-making by both teams that almost cost both of them. Like, it's like, dude, what are we doing here? It might be the NFC South, honestly. The NFC South is just, like, a weird one. I would say AFC South a couple weeks ago, but NFC South is pretty difficult.
Yeah, I think, like, I don't know. I had a few takeaways from that game. One is I thought the Cowboys defense bounced back nicely.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers weren't able to do a lot. Justin Herbert, just that throw he misses to Keenan Allen. And I know, like, here's the thing with Herbert. Like, Herbert, people get enamored with Justin Herbert because his arm talent is insane. Like, he legit has probably one of the, I'd say, like, top 3 arms in the league in terms of how far he can throw it, where he can throw it, different angles he can throw it. But just like one of those layups, he misses. And it wasn't like an overall sort of indication of how he played because he was under pressure a lot and all those other things. But it's like I got to see more from Justin Herbert until I can just like buy into the fact that he is the dude. He's a franchise quarterback for him. Like they're going to pay him. They're going to extend him.
Well, they already did.
They already did. Okay. That's what I meant to say, Tom. I can't keep up.
It's all right, buddy. Yeah, no, he's out for the year. AR. That's what I'm saying. Like the Colts are gone, but yes.
But like, The Chargers and the Cowboys are two teams who I feel like can never just put it all together. And it's every single week. It's like, oh my God, the Chargers offense is finally looking like who we thought they would be, but the defense lets them down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the defense is playing well, and then the offense lets them down. I feel like the Cowboys and the Chargers kind of are looking in a mirror, especially with Kellen Moore just flip-flopping. Going from the Cowboys to the Chargers, and it's just the same for the Chargers. And I gave the Chargers credit before they went into the bye because they got a win without a lot of their key guys. They get healthy, they come back, and they lose in prime time to the Cowboys. And I saw Dominique Foxworth. There was a clip of him on Twitter. Did you see this, Tom? Today?
I don't think so.
So they were talking about Jerry Jones criticizing Mike McCarthy or saying something about him being too conservative with the play calling. And Dominique Foxworth said, if an 80-year-old billionaire owner from Arkansas is saying you're too conservative, you've got a problem.
That's how you know. That's how you know. I did not see that. Williams wants partial ownership.
I don't think that's true. I think that's bullshit. I think that's a fake freaking story. I didn't see one single reputable outlet say this. Also, teams don't give players equity when they draft dudes. Like, that's not a thing the NFL does. So I think that's that's a fake story that's getting just rehashed by the aggregators.
Yes. Okay, hold on one second.
Like, he could ask for that, but it's not going to happen anywhere. Like, the NFL, like, if players receive that, Patrick Mahomes would have been the first guy to get ownership in the team.
Apparently, it was Pro Football Talk who first reported it.
Yeah, I still don't trust that.
Yeah, because right now ESPN Southwest Florida is talking about it. But yeah, Pro Football
I don't think it's a
Talk-
real thing.
So yeah, Dov was the one who originally tweeted out and said Pro Football Talk said it. Dude, I don't even know what the hell that is, but yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a chance that he gets that. Like,
no, because
dude, he
the
hasn't
NFL
played
doesn't
a
do
single
that.
snap. Yeah, he hasn't played a single snap.
No.
So,
and then I think Rodgers wanted some with the Jets when he went over there, and the NFL said no.
He did. Yeah, and they're like, that's not how this works. I mean, because that's the thing. They have that. Like, there's some leagues will be like, yeah, like, we'll do that, and it'll be like unprecedented and stuff like that. But, dude, yeah, there's no way they're gonna give that to like the first overall pick.
No, the NFL doesn't give that to active players.
No, there's no way. So
the first player I believe the first player was John Elway. I believe Pat Bowlen wanted to give John Elway ownership stake in the Denver Broncos in the 90s, and the NFL said no. And then once Elway retired, Pat Bowlen wanted him to buy in as well. Elway said no. And when the Broncos just sold, they're like, Elway would have been making like $700 or $800 million had he said yes to that after he retired. But I believe Elway was the first player for that to come up for. And the NFL was like, no, you can't have a player have ownership stake in the team while they're active.
Yeah, no, you just
Timothy.
Yeah, we just talked about Jonathan. Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Jonathan. So
us.
Guys are getting it without even hearing it from us. That's amazing.
Hell yeah, let's go.
The GPS promo.
The GPS poll is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. In other news, Jalen Ramsey has 21 days to return to practice, so that's pretty cool. So I mean, I know originally the original reports were like he wasn't gonna come back until like late December. So he's got 3 weeks now to return to practice and be taken off IR. So that's pretty damn awesome. And maybe that's going to help out the Dolphins defense a little bit. You know, they got a huge game on Sunday, dude, that I can't wait for. That game is going to be so good.
Who?
But the Dolphins Eagles on Sunday night. Oh my God, I can't wait.
It's Eagles Dolphins this weekend?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sunday Night Football, baby.
Ooh, Monday night?
Sunday night.
Oh,
Sunday.
Man.
Monday
feel
night
like
is the
the
49ers
Eagles-
and Vikings.
Eagles are about to lose 2 in a row, man.
We gonna see. We
I
gonna
mean,
see.
he could ask. His agent could ask, but it's not like a real thing. If
Hell
it
yeah.
turns out to be a real thing, I will say I'm wrong. But I've said as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is just made up.
Julio Jones signed with the Eagles for nominee of like weirdest transaction of the week. I
Sure.
thought like Julio was just kind of done, but that's the thing too. It seems like is he going to their practice squad? I think that was so I saw that he got signed, but I didn't see that it was to the active roster.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. I mean, like there's gonna be like no pressure on him to perform at all. Like, so I'm imagining it's just like, hey, let's get a guy, and if we need him in a tight spot, like we can put him on the field, we can elevate him, and then maybe try to get him a ring. I imagine it's not going to be much. They'd probably vet Min, I would assume, right?
Like, yeah, I'm sure it's. I think like if it is to the practice squad or however they're doing it, I think he's got to prove that like he's healthy essentially, and then how do you work him in to that offense?
Yeah, he's on the practice squad with the expectation that he'll be quickly elevated to the 53-man roster once he gets up to speed.
Yeah. I don't to me it's a weird signing in that like I'm not looking at Philly and going they need wide receiver help. You know?
Yeah. No, that wouldn't be on like the top of my list. I mean, it's a red zone target. Like even if you put him in there just for like red zone attempts, he's a big-bodied guy. But
what if Julio gets the reverse of his career? He has like 1 reception every game, but it's always for a touchdown.
That'd be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty cool.
I forgot. What was it? There's like 2 seasons in a row in Atlanta where he didn't catch a touchdown pass until like the second half of the season. He'd have like 9 catches a game, but none of them were for touchdowns. It was like one of the greatest mysteries ever.
Yeah,
but
no. It's like Kyle Pitts. Oh wait, they don't really throw to him either.
I know the Eagles they're trying to find help for their secondary, because they've just kind of been banged up there. So, who's willing to deal? Oh, the Panthers possibly, and then of course the Broncos with Justin Simmons. So,
dude, if you send Justin Simmons over to like a Super Bowl contender, I'm not gonna be happy.
I think they were talking about Simmons and Jeremy Chin, I believe. But
there you go, Silver. There you go.
Sounds like a Jerry Rice with Seattle.
I mean,
what Jerry wanted equity in the Seahawks?
It's near the end.
No, the Browns have the best defense in the NFL.
It's
the
league. I know I did. I just want to see a good game. Like Monday wasn't too bad. Like it wasn't a great game, but anything was better than Sunday Night Football between the Giants and Bills. I was like, all right.
Yeah, we're working on that Sunday night game to be one of the. I'm going to test it as a alt worst game ever because
it was bad.
It was horrible. There was 3 really bad games. Well, they were defensive games, but the Eagles Jets game was one. The Browns 49ers was one, but I felt like the Bills Giants was just the worst.
Yeah. No, it was the worst of the worst this week. Absolutely. I mean, just because, but it was worse because, like, even if it was a blowout, that game would have been better. It was just like, this is just sad. It's just watching 2 teams, like, just be very, very bad right now.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yes. So Anthony Richardson, as reported, he is out for the entire season. So he's gone. So again, for the Colts, that's not so great. You wanted to talk about the Chargers fan?
Yeah. Like
real quick, folks. So we have a little rundown that we just add to every single. It was a very high tech show. So we have a rundown that we just. And Perna wrote this morning, the Chargers fan, and underneath that, why are we so dumb? And here's the thing. That could go one of 2 ways. I think I know where you're going with it, but I want to hear it from the man himself.
And technically, I wrote it down last night, but
okay, all right, Mister. Wanted to get a start on the day.
I got an early start on the GPS rundown. Okay, so shout out to the Pat McAfee show because they had the fan on. They had her on the show to clarify the mystery. And the fact that I think it's awesome that she was on the show. And I think like more of that should happen. But the fact that she had to go onto the show to tell the world that she was not a plant, a paid actress to root for the Chargers is so stupid. It is. I hate that somebody can just make up some bullshit and it turns into something people believe in so quickly that we have to go to the person, put them on a popular show, and clarify that they are indeed a Chargers fan. Now, it's kind of funny because they're a Chargers fan, and part of that was like, the Chargers don't have fans that are passionate like this. This has to be a plant from Hollywood, a paid actress. Then people are pointing out, like, look at the fan behind her, how he's reacting a little too late here. I am like, this is a fun conspiracy. Like, nobody really gets hurt with this conspiracy, but it's just like a microcosm of how effed we are with news and with facts, Tom. Like, it made me sad. It made me sad because like it was like a fun thing in that game, right? Like, it was a boring game. They cut to this woman just going crazy for the Chargers, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is great." Then they show her again. And then they're like, why do they keep showing this random fan? Because the people producing the game, they realize that people are talking about this. So they're going to keep going back to her. And she was animated. She was making great faces. Yeah. So you got
this stuff where it's like caught red-handed from the very reputable source, by the way. That is all the sarcasm that I can possibly muster here. It's a pay actor because they're wearing Viking stuff. Apparently also grew up in Minnesota, and even Zito came out and was like, hey, listen, like, this is fake. It's BS. Or he retweeted it, sorry. And saying, yeah, like, dressed up because their kid was like, plays as the Vikings in the local league. And it's so dumb. It's just dumb. And like, yeah, I mean, like, even like that news story too, right? Because that was the whole thing about like Chicago and having like the FBI raids and stuff. We have gotten so dumb when it comes to news because it's just like, here you go up there. It's like, ah!
Dude, it's literally the hardest part of my job is sometimes trying to figure out if a story is real.
Yeah. Like, and this is the dumbest story. Like, because someone was like, they were just like, who is this woman? And but like, why do we care? Who cares?
Yeah. Like, that's what annoyed me. It was a fun thing from the game, and people had to turn it into oh no, it's not fun. This is fake. Like,
dude, they had like, what was it, for some movie? They had like literal robots or like fake robots at the game in SoFi. Like, give me the animated fan over just like it. Who cares? I don't care. So it's dumb. It's just very dumb.
Thank you. Yeah, it like, and I put it in the power rankings. I was like, why do we have to take this away from the Chargers, man? They lost the game. They had this one bright spot, and we're saying, guess what, Chargers? That's fake too, you motherfuckers. You can have nothing. You can have nothing, LA.
I also love how the implication is just like, no one's that invested in the Chargers.
Yeah.
There's no way that there is someone that invested in the LA Chargers. Yeah. You can't fool me with that. Because if it was like a Cowboys fan, someone like, oh yeah, that tracks. That makes sense, right? But because like it's the extra layer of being a Chargers fan, they're like, this got to be BS right here. Someone paid her to be there. Yeah. It's just, what are we doing? What are we doing, buddy? All right, so I'm glad that's the way that you were going for it.
Yeah, I just like I don't know why it made me mad, but it did. And I'm happy they brought her on to talk about it, and people be like, oh yeah, she's real. She actually likes the Chargers and rooted for them at a football game.
Yeah.
She has like season tickets.
Yeah. You did also mention, and it's interesting you bring this up because I was thinking about this the other day about fights. Because like what's weird is that we had it 3 times this past week. Because it was before the Monday night game between the Chargers and the Cowboys. The Browns and the 49ers got into it. Do the Eagles and Jets get into it too? Like there's that's going on, and you're like, okay. Interesting, whatever. But you were also talking about like the increase in fan confrontations, in which like now it just, I saw like after Monday night people were swinging on one another, and Bears won too. So like, do you? I mean, what do you make of that? Or do you just or are you just using that as a point to talk about tackling?
Well, it was like it was just one of those things where you kind of see two things back to back, right? Scrolling through your socials. One is like the NFL is considering trying to get rid of the, I don't even know what they call it, the drop,
Oh, the hip drop, like the hip
the
tackle.
hip drop tackle or whatever. And I don't even know what the fuck that is really. But it was like I see that, and then it's like I scroll down a little bit and I just see fans beating the piss out of each other. I'm like, I've seen so many fan fights. I feel like this season it feels like there are more than ever. And I'm like, the NFL is like really worried about trying to figure out how to make the game like harder to play in the name of safety. But I feel like they've done nothing to make the game safer for fans. Like I feel like there's an actual issue with fan fights right now. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like one fight in every stadium every week, and it's always been that way. We just don't have we didn't have a billion phones, but it's like the NFL hasn't addressed it, hasn't talked about it, but I feel like there needs to be something done to stop this shit. And after like the guy died at the Patriots game, I feel like there's been no, and maybe I'm wrong. Like I'm not trying to like just be the guy who's like NFL needs to do something. They need to fix this. But like, has there been any increase in security? Have they done anything to try and deter this? Because what bothers me about like these fights is you see them and you see them happening and you never see them really broken up quickly. It's like there's nobody around to mitigate it except other fans.
Well, you were mentioning this, I think, a couple weeks ago, and
we talked about it after the dude died.
Yeah, and you were just like this is one of the reasons like I don't want to go to games. Like it's just like it's a negative of it. But yeah, I do. Again, it's weird because you don't know if it's happening more frequently or the same, and now there's just more publicity about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I would just like it feels like something needs to be done. And like it just seems like it is multiple games every week. And if that is happening, like what are we? And I know like you can't. It's hard because you got to hold people responsible, right? Like it's not the NFL's responsibility to make sure fans aren't assholes at games.
Sure.
And it's not the NFL as a whole. Each stadium, like that's the team is responsible for it. So it comes to the team. But it seems like if maybe you put more security in the stadium, more at every section, and when you start hearing like a lot of these fights, I feel like you hear them starting to happen. It is somebody talking to somebody else, and it usually it's never just like a quick thing. It's like quarter two, this guy's saying something to this guy, or this guy's saying something, and he's annoying everybody around him, and like. This goes back to when I was at a game and I heard somebody yelling like racial slurs in the crowd. I'm like, what? How is this person like one just confident enough to do that around other people? And why is nobody doing anything to like stop it?
Yeah.
Obviously I'm not, because I do not like confrontation, but it escalates. Like somebody's saying something crazy, people get drunk, and then it turns into violence. Like if somebody if somebody's got the balls to yell something like that, I'm not going to be the guy to go over there and stop them.
I just love how you're just like, I'm just going to be a bystander. Like that's what I have owned that. I have owned that role.
I'm terrified of somebody who has the confidence to yell shit like that.
Well, here's the thing too, right? Is that just like ESPN, I'm so sorry. Like I just saw another comment about ESPN. The stadiums are so like there's so many people, right? If we're just talking like 80,000 people in one of those stadiums, it's going to be near impossible, right? To be able to regulate every single person in that stadium, right? I get that. That's 100%. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, you do bring up a good point about it seems, again, and this could be very subjective, it seems more freaking because we're seeing more of it. And that might just be like you said, like one fight's always breaking out, but someone has a phone now to record it. Yeah, it just feels like I don't even know. I don't think the NFL is ever going to address that. It's going to be left up to the individual teams because the NFL's are like, we don't really care.
Yeah. And like it's one of those things too where like it gets posted online immediately because
Vanessa
people are
with
going to
the
click it.
inside scoop. They increased security a mile high.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
See, so some teams are doing it. Some teams, sure, they can't field a good football team, but your fan experience is going to be safe. And it might be like as simple as like, and this like I don't want this is gonna make me sound like a boomer. I ain't gonna say
No,
it.
now you need to say it.
I ain't gonna say it.
Come on, you can't. No, you got to say it, Brandon.
It's like you got to be able to like just whip out your phone and report it to the stadium so they can have people come check on it. But then you're gonna have a bunch of rats narking on each other, and then it's gonna be a problem of like getting people kicked out of games for no reason.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
When you left, I told Johnny that he needs to create it. So when you said you had a boomer comment, I was like, please God, this will be the greatest moment ever.
Wow. All right. You and Johnny win today. I am small. That's also why I don't stop confrontations. Oh, God dang it.
Well done, Johnny. Well,
Yeah. You know what? Okay, I'll play in the boomer. Like once you have a kid and you see this stuff, like your perspective changes. Like beforehand, like a couple guys fighting, who cares? Asshole probably deserved to get punched in the face. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Now I'm like, if I'm at that game with my kid, I don't want her to see that. Oh my goodness, no. It's more of a dad thing, I think.
Oh my God. All right. We want to talk about power rankings and who's the best team.
That government taxes me too much. Damn it. Too many taxes.
I'm going to get so much mileage.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
That's exactly what I'm going to look like when I'm old, too. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, it is accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, before we do power rankings, one more time, I just want to let everybody know, GPS, use that code at Underdog Fantasy.
There you go.
And Sunday, when Tom and I are streaming
GPS
the
ball.
Broncos Packies game, every hour we're giving away $1,000 in free Underdog credits. The only way to get it is signing up with our code GPS. So new customers qualify. Current GPS heads, navigators, whatever you want to be called, also will qualify. And we've got a link in the description. In order to you got to put your Underdog username in the sign up link in the description that we have down there for you, so we can auto generate your names and give it away randomly. And during the game, we're doing a new special, higher, lower for the pick'ems. We got Russ. We got our man Russell Wilson. We just gave $1 million to charity this week, by the way. Take him for that gimme, and you're going to enter to possibly get $1,000 in free credits. Oh, also, because we've been talking so much about the pick'ems lately, what was the draft I did yesterday?
Brandon, you got to relate. It's walk through, Brandon.
Signed up. M Boomer, too stupid to use app. Help.
I need somebody.
Well, if you signed up with our code, then you should see the Russell Wilson special automatically. Depending on which state you're in, it should be available now to a lot of people, but like I think here in Colorado it won't be available until like Friday. And then just use the link below to put in your Underdog info to sign up in the thing down there, and then you should qualify.
All right, boom.
All right, so I did the Sunday night knockout. Okay. Also fun draft. First place $12,500. It's 2 games, so it's a quick draft. Just don't forget, there's fun drafts to do in Underdog. All right,
get off my lawn.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh my God, it's gonna get longer and longer and longer, isn't it? Oh,
you're right, Johnny. That is.
You know what's also funny is my dad and my grandpa were literal get off the lawn guys because they didn't want their grass messed up.
Yeah,
my grandpa was the king, and I lived with them in college. and my friend and I would at halftime of Broncos game, we'd go throw the football in the grass.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Why don't you guys throw that in the street? Go out to the street, get off the grass."
Well, the best part is because you also
come
talked about the
line of
park
it.
and like the teenagers hanging out there. So like this first part is 100% accurate.
Dude, you know what the fucking teens did to our park too?
Oh no, here we go.
They broke all the slides with rocks. So now you can't the kids can't even use the slides. They're all like they put cones on them. They prevented the kids from going up because those little shits took boulders and broke all the slides there.
That's very douchey behavior.
Yeah, it's so messed up. They leave their trash there, then they broke all the slides. I'm gonna tell you what, teenagers are the worst.
You know what they probably are? Middle schoolers. And you know what I always say? Middle schoolers need to get drop kicked.
Yeah, they are 100% middle schoolers.
Yes, they are.
And I'm
See?
scared one of them could beat me up.
That's fair. But that's valid. I'm just saying. Middle schoolers been saying it for many years. And as a former person who did student teaching in middle school, drop kicked. Middle schoolers need to get drop kicked. They're better when they're high schoolers, but middle schoolers, there's
the
no
worst.
saving them.
No.
There's no saving them. If you see one on the street, drop kick.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think middle school teachers should be the highest paid people in America.
That's, you know what? Yeah, it's valid.
Yeah, like
It sucks. It's terrible. I did for student teaching, and I was like, I will never do this. Like, I will teach high school every day. I will not do middle school again. Like, they are just hormonal little monsters. And 7th grade, oh my God, 7th grade is the worst. Because 6th grade, they're like still kind of elementary school, and they're like, all right, we're still like kind of babies. And then once they hit 7th grade, they get a little cocky. Oh my God, they don't know how to use deodorant. It's just bad. It's just so they need to be drop kicked. That's the point. Defenestrated also works. So.
oh, I forgot that I cursed the Chargers and they lost. Dang, the curse wheel is strong.
Dave, listen, Dave. Perna was just talking about we need to be there for our fellow man, right? We need to report. If we see something, we need to say something. It's the same thing with middle schoolers. You see a middle schooler, you need to drop kick them. You know how those lantern flies are out there and everyone's saying you got to stomp on them, you got to kill them because they're bad for the environment and stuff? Same thing with middle schoolers. Terrible for the environment. You drop kick them. That's it.
I'm going to walk around my neighborhood with 9 and 1 already dialed on my phone and just waiting to see some middle schoolers before I hit that second one and get on the phone, call the police.
No, you drop kick them first, then you call the police and say they hurt my hip.
There's some mean middle schoolers eating McDonald's at the park again, and I know they're up to no good. Come arrest them.
Yes. No, I will raise $500,000 for St. Jude all day, every day. Well, you see a middle school, you got to drop kick them. That's just the rules. It's just
no, I mean, I'm not talking about sick kids.
Okay. No, just middle schoolers, just crappy little middle schoolers. That's it, right? Oh my God, yes. Love that. I mean, I don't advocate hitting with a car, but drop kicking works too. Drop kicking does work too. Okay, let's.
Did your teacher also run into Terrell Owens?
All right, let's see your sane power rankings, Brandon. Let's see these things.
Oh, wait, I got to import them.
Okay, there we go. Because we're talking about, I had a really tough time with power rankings this week because there's a bunch of oh God, I already see you smiling.
Well, I'm just saying, what's funny is I never have a tough time.
Of course you don't, Brandon, because people were like, you know what, you should just pick out of a hat. Just put 10 names in a hat.
Never have a tough time.
Just pick them out, have a nice day. Flip a coin, do all that stuff. No, you're just like, I just sit down. You randomly will forget the Chiefs one week and just be like, oh yeah, I forgot they existed. Sorry. So no, hey, not just kids. They have to be middle schoolers, right? Elementary to young. High schoolers, they're not as bad.
I'm a boomer.
Drop kick.
I'm a child abuser, so
just gotta drop kick them. That's it. Okay.
Ready? What were you? You're struggling with power rankings.
Yes, I was, because it seems like there's a bunch of 5-1 teams, And let's just be very honest, the Lions are the only 5-1 team to beat another 5-1 team. So like that's a legit thing. They beat the Buccaneers, who are a very solid team. So I don't like it's tough to be like, all right, out of all of them, because I look at the 49ers and I still think the 49ers are still one of the, if not the best team, because with their injuries, which it doesn't seem like any are significant, which is great. It seemed like everything went against them. It was the weather. It was playing against a historically good defense. It was a few ref calls. Like, it was all of these things. It was the injuries that made them lose a very close game. Oh, and a missed field goal at the end.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's not going to happen every single week. So there's a good chance that they'll be okay. But I did put somebody else. So, right?
Ooh.
Buster, race 5. Drop. I'm not wrong. Folks, where's the lie?
There is no lie.
You're lying. Oh, there you go. There you go, Chris. Well, again, no punching, just drop kicking though. Because
now, before we show this again, anybody who's watching, and you get the power rankings spoiled for you, don't forget to actually watch my video. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Hey, I don't spit on children. I just say drop kick. Okay. All right.
You can get my power rankings up to 2,000 likes. That's what I want to know.
All right.
Oh, we did. Okay, I can show everybody. All right, here we go. Ready, Tommy boy?
Yep.
Bam.
Okay.
It's actually not that crazy. It's not that crazy.
Okay. I'm sorry. What is that, 1.5?
There's nothing there. Just ignore it. I didn't do a 1.5 this week.
Okay. So
just a clerical error. Clerical error.
Okay. All right. So let's go back here. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope, didn't see that. Number 5. Is that the Avalanche?
No, that's the Carolina Hurricanes.
You see how much I watch hockey? Just go Kraken. Anyway. So you have the Carolina Hurricanes, and it looks like maybe a Chiefs logo with a small X on top of it.
Yeah, the Chiefs have just been sitting at 5 basically all season. And somebody DM'd me and said, you know what? You should put the Hurricanes at 5 because they have more wins than the Panthers. I said, you know what? I like that.
Why would the Panthers even be in the top 10? They haven't won a game.
They wouldn't. But the Panthers are so bad that their hockey team, I believe it was after like one game, already more wins than the Panthers. So
I just want to be clear. Okay, first of all,
that's
why
an
are
old
the
one.
Packers still in hell? I was gonna say. I was like,
look, I keep putting Justin Fields in heaven, and it's not working. Poor Justin Fields.
11. It just says none. The Eagles are not even in the top 10 anymore.
No, I just got mad
6?
at the Eagles.
Are they at 6? And the Jets are taking.
Yep.
Why are 7 the Rams?
The Rams are good, dude. I think the Rams might be ready to go on a tear.
Oh my god, I can't. Hold on. No, you need to go back. You need to go back because every time I see it, it gets worse.
No, well, look, let's just go to the top 5 here. Here. You got Lions at 1. I got Dolphins at 1. We flip-flop.
Cool.
That's
flip-flop. That's cool.
Both got Niners at 3.
Yes.
Now, I put the Jags up at 4. And we talked about this Monday.
Because you had them real low. You had the Jaguars real low last week. Real low.
Jagging off. Them jagging off, and they're jagging off at number 4. They are jagging off at 4 play, some might say. Tom? Now they play Thursday night, so I am assuming they're going to lose and make me look dumb. But defense is solid.
Yes, defense
Lawrence playing better. Travis Etienne's a big part of the offense. We haven't talked about Jacksonville's receiving core for a while, and I think we're going to see Calvin Ridley. Somebody's going to go off, and we're going to be like, dang, Jags are good at every single level. I talked about their defensive coordinator quite a bit in the episode. So
their again, I'm very, very impressed with how their defense. That's amazing. And rightfully so. 8th grade, middle school. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think middle school teachers should be allowed to say whatever they want to the kids. Threaten them.
I agree. Okay. So 4-6, it's not too bad. You have a hockey team. At
Yeah,
number 5,
I mean,
so-
technically it's the Chiefs, but I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to put the Chiefs in there until they beat the Broncos 17 times in a row.
That's true. You don't have Taylor Swift in your top 10.
No, I do not. Did you put her in yours?
No. But I don't put hockey teams in mine, Brandon.
Are you?
So it makes
Oh. All right. Let's talk about the Rams at 7 for a second. You got the Browns at 7, which is a little high. I put them at 9.
I put them at 7 just because like their defense is that good, and the fact they were able to win with PJ Walker, I was like, you know what, guys, I don't know how long you're gonna be on this list. Go ahead, just go up there.
Yeah.
Just
If
go
their
up there.
defense stays at this rate, though, they will be a playoff team. And if Deshaun Watson can stay healthy, they're going to win a lot of football games.
Sure.
Because he started to play better before he got hurt. Here's my concern with the Browns. It's like as soon as he started to play better, he got hurt. And I feel like he's going to come back and he's going to be worse again. I like for me to buy into Cleveland like fully as like maybe a Super Bowl team, I've got to see Watson play well for like multiple weeks in a row. Yeah. And we have not seen that since he's been with Cleveland. He hasn't had like a lot of games in a row to do it, but that defense is so good right now. And I watched, I think it was Chris Long talking about Jim Schwartz and why their defense is playing so well. Mm-hmm. And he was saying like Schwartz runs like a really simple defense. He just lets his playmakers make plays. His edge rushers just go after the quarterback because he's got the personnel on the back end to cover. And it's very similar to the way Wade Phillips coached his defenses. It's like, we're not going to do anything fancy. We got the guys to do it, and we're just going to be aggressive, and we're not doing anything crazy. We're just going to beat you.
Well, someone was also saying, too, that there was a stat, I think it was from Sunday night or Monday night, there was a super chat that was talking about how Schwartz's like defenses like match up really, really well against Shanahan's offenses. Like,
he's like
really,
Shanahan's like 1-8 against Schwartz.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like interesting, and you would think like more would then get into that. Daniel, that'd be wonderful. The thing is, like, sports is all privatized now, so like they're never gonna let them see that. So yeah, I would love it, but no, there's just priorities in society. So, yeah, no, I understand that. I think the Browns, for me, like, nobody anticipated, and it was such like a damn, you know what? Like, this is an impressive win, and I know a lot of things like went wrong for the 49ers. So that's why I had them up like where they were. Nice. So I love how you have the entire AFC North in purgatory, and I'm honestly not even gonna fight you on that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna even fight
you. My take was like, I love a team that has a good defense. But I do not like an entire division that is basically only good defense. And the Bengals probably have the best chance to have the most complete team.
Yeah, they
maybe the Ravens, but like, that division, like all of those games, I just feel like are always so ugly. And I'm just like,
no, they are.
And this week specifically, I think there was somebody posted, like in terms of the amount of points that were scored, it was like the lowest since like 2013 or something in a week. I don't know.
And like the Steelers won a bye, and then every other team in the AFC North won.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was tough games. All right. So you have the Rams at 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Cowboys rematched at 8. That was good.
Look at that. Yeah.
All right.
And did you feel like you were kind of putting the Cowboys a little too high?
Yes. So this is what I struggled with. So to go back to that real quick. So this is what I struggled with. My 7 through 10, I was like, oof. Because the Bills, listen, they have a good record, but they played like dog crap on Sunday night. And I was like, you need to get punished for this. Like, I had them at 7 last week. I was like, you need to go down even though you won, because the Giants are legit one of the worst teams in the league. And then the Ravens, their best player was Justin Tucker on Sunday in London. And I was like, that's a little high. And then the Cowboys I put up there, I was like, well, crap. Like, I guess I put them up there too because they beat the Chargers. Like, if they lost to the Chargers, I don't know who I would have put up there. And then the Browns, like I said, their win was so impressive. They were at 7. But my 7 through 10, like, I did not feel confident in. But I was like, this is just, I guess, is how I'm shaking it out. And because I could justify it.
Yeah, I see. Like, we started writing the power rankings a little earlier than normal, and I just slotted in 8. I was like, whoever wins Cowboys Chargers, I'll put here. And then the Cowboys won. Like if the Cowboys kind of like dominated that game, I would have felt better about putting them there.
Exactly. And Dak again played well, but they did not dominate that game.
Yeah. And it's like with the Herbert throw that was missed, Dak also missed that one to Tony Pollard in the end zone. And it's, to me, that's just like the difference between being a good quarterback like Dak and Herbert. Well, Pepper, why don't you watch the episode and you'll find out? Why don't you watch the episode and we'll find out? But like that, the throw into the end zone that Dak misses Pollard on, to me, that's the difference between being Dak Prescott good and being, Tom Brady good.
There was one throw that Dak did though that was like insanely good. Like
he and Herbert both made incredible throws in this game, but they also missed. And the Chargers got bailed out because of the punt, but they missed in critical times. And as much crap as I want to give Tom Brady, it was like Brady and Manning. In those situations, you almost never see them miss those throws in terms of it putting it where their guy can catch it. Whether or not like Pollard like caught it after that would have been fine, but Dak didn't. He threw it too far out, and like that was my take from the game of like just that thin line between being great and being a very good quarterback. And it's stupid to like try and like nitpick there, but
I understand
that's that's what it is. It's just throw it fucking perfect when the game's on the line and people will stop giving you crap.
So I do want to ask, so why do you pick the Dolphins as better than all those other 5-1 teams?
Because they have the best offense in the NFL. And they're on like a historical pace for their offense. So it's kind of funny because we got the Browns, and I think now is the time where you can start like looking at pace, right? Where it's through 6 weeks, it might hold up. Browns are on a pace to have like a historic good defense.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins, historic offense. And then there's like just a bunch of stuff in the middle. You kind of had the 49ers over here with the Dolphins for a bit.
Yeah.
And there's like I feel like every week I see a different Dolphins offense stat, and it's just like, that's ridiculous.
Oh, I mentioned the Texans every single week in power rankings. Yeah. They always get honorable mentions for me because I like the way that they're playing.
It's like their yards per play is so far ahead of like the second team. They have the most big plays. And to me,
next week they won't be on the list.
I think their defense will get better as the season goes, but it's splitting hairs because I think and this will probably benefit the Lions long term. I think the Lions are a tougher team. I think it's the mentality there. It's just everybody playing for Dan Campbell. Their defense is really good.
The defense is good.
But Goff and Tua, they're both playing as like two of the best quarterbacks there. And it really came down to, I think the Dolphins just have more explosive weapons on offense.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And I don't think there's not a receiver in the league right now who's better than Tyreek Hill. So that's why the Lions could get there. David Montgomery's hurt right now. So,
they don't have a run game right now because everybody's injured. But my thing is, I wonder what this week is going to look like because the Lions are playing the Ravens, and like that is a really interesting matchup. Like, let's see if like Lamar can run all over them. Like, let's see how the Lions offense like handles a good Ravens defense. Like, that's going to be a really, really good indicator. Like, they're having like two relatively tough tests, and it's on the road. They had Tampa, which was filled with Lions fans, and then they go against the Ravens. Like, I think that's going to be a close freaking game, but that's going to be one of those like grind your teeth, like go out there and see, how good of a team you really are.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like the Buccaneers and Ravens are kind of similar. So it's two of these like right now defensive forward teams. It's all about like, is the Ravens offense going to going to perform? Are they going to perform in the red zone? And that was one of the bad stats from this. Like, there were so many teams that sucked in the red zone
Dude,
this
the
week.
Seahawks won.
The Seahawks
one
sucked.
out of 5. Like, it was bad.
The Ravens were 1 out of 6. The
Yep.
Raiders were 1 out of 6. Who else? There was another team in there. So it's like if the Ravens are better in the red zone, then they might steal a win against Detroit. But yeah, that's a great matchup to watch. In Tua and Jared Goff. Right now, I got Jared Goff ahead of Tua in terms of how he's playing, but it's by a little. It's just by a little, and I just think Jared Goff he's so good right now, and he's not like number 1 in most of the categories, but he's like number 2 to 4 to like he's in the top 5 in almost all the important ones, and Jameson Williams had that big touchdown grab for him.
Yep.
Because it wasn't like a perfect throw there. It was kind of
he had to
wobbly.
adjust to it. Yeah, it was a nice catch by Jameson.
But like, I think
Giants. Yeah,
he has to work a little harder with their offense than Tua does. And it's not trying to take credit away from Tua because he's a huge reason why their playmakers are so dangerous. But yeah, it is cool that those two guys are like playing like the best quarterbacks right now.
No, I mean,
but it
has
means
been
that like
such an awesome turnaround for him. Legitimate. He just looks like he's very comfortable in that system, and like he's playing up to like his potential, and like definitely exceeding expectations when they first traded for him. So that's pretty cool to see Jared Goff do well.
Yeah.
Not as Packers fan, but huge kid.
And people are like Tua just throws it to the open receiver. No shit. That's like part of that, like identifying where that guy's going to be and getting the ball to that guy. Like that's a skill. Trust me. You remember Russell Wilson getting criticized all last season for not seeing the correct guy? Like seeing the guy, knowing where to go. Like that's a huge skill. And I think Tua does that as good as anyone.
I'm going to, before we wrap this up.
Yes.
Mike McDaniel. Is he like just one of the most fun coaches to watch? I mean, listen, his team is really great. His offense is like historically good. All that great stuff. But just him.
If you don't like him, there's something wrong with you.
Like, he is so, and the Dolphins know it too. Like, he is so effing entertaining. If you haven't watched his mic'd up from this week, and like the refs come over and he just like they give him a handshake, he's like, wow, like strong, sturdy handshake with eye contact. He's like, I appreciate the respect and I will give you the same. Like, it's just, he looks like he's having so much fun. And it looks like it's just a fun team to play with.
It's honestly like it's like a comedian is an NFL head coach.
Yeah. Because he's like a nerdy football dude. And I'm just like, yes, like this is one of us. We made it.
I want him to be our Aaron Rodgers, where he comes on the show every Tuesday with us.
Oh my God, please. I will do a GPS on Tuesdays.
There was a part later in that clip where he was kind of yelling, I think, towards the officials about something.
True story.
And then the ref came over and kind of explained like what he saw there.
And he was just like, I wasn't it. He's
like, accountability? You're showing accountability right now?
And the ref was like, oh, no. Like he thought like he was getting yelled at. And he's like, no, I love it.
Yeah, he's like, thank you for taking accountability.
I want to talk to Mike McDaniel. I will do a GPS on Tuesday every week to talk to Mike McDaniel. Yeah. Easy. That's fine.
Okay,
make it happen.
People watching, here's how you got to help us. Mike McDaniel's not on Twitter, right? He's not on Twitter, I don't think. Dan Soder is. Dan Soder is a comedian. Mike McDaniel's from Aurora, Colorado, where I live. Dan Soder lived in Aurora. Dan Soder and Mike McDaniel are friends. So maybe we start adding Dan to get to Mike. Like, no, they're like legit good friends still.
Okay.
Get to Dan to get us Mike. Get to Dan to get us to Mike. That's all I'm saying.
And Dan's going to be like, why don't you want me?
Oh, I'll talk to Dan too. Dan's great.
Dan, you could be there.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how we get him.
All right. There you go.
I'm just saying, man, you got to take your shots. Shooters got to shoot.
Shooters got to shoot. Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy? You just released power rankings.
It's just power rankings, maybe a short later. I got the power rankings up early so I could go to gymnastics with Carm.
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to tell you a funny Carm story. All right, so like we do books at night, and when she's like wound up, she like will start making shit up and just laughing. And she'll say
should do-
something, and I
should
kind of
do
laugh,
Mad
and then she'll
Libs
keep
with her.
saying it. And so it's like when she doesn't want to go to sleep, she just starts talking and like doing stuff. So she was doing that, and then kind of out of nowhere, she goes, "Daddy, you're a vagina, and I'm a butt." And then she just started laughing as hard as she could. I was like, and like I died. I don't think I've ever legitimately laughed that hard from something she said. I was like, where did that come from?
So
Daddy, you're a vagina and I'm a butt. I was like, that's my kid. That's my kid.
yeah, you're
100%.
like, there's no question about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, I also love, so shout out to Jess Brain. I also love how normalized it's been now that there's a chair next to the vent. And like at one point, Jess is just sitting there drinking, right? And Carmi's going over and she's screaming through the vent. It's like,
Yeah.
Daddy!
She's
She did.
starting to like
She could.
watch football a little bit with me, and it's really cool.
Oh,
So I had
that's
that.
gotta
I
be a
had the
good
Monday
feeling.
night game on, and Herbert was going like this because he couldn't hear, and she's like, "Daddy, why is he covering his ears?" And then she'll be like, "Oh, did you see that?" Like when somebody gets tackled, and she's like, "What happened?"
All right. Like,
Like,
that's
okay.
listen, that's that's like
Yeah.
getting to that age where like now it's like, oh, taking interest in some of my
If
interests.
she legitimately like is curious about football and watches some of it with me, I'm gonna just be over the moon.
Oh, you have to be. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's why I told you I'm going to convert Carmi to the biggest Packers fan that ever lived.
Yeah. She was like, "Go Broncos." And I was like, "Well, this is the Chargers and the Cowboys," but I agree with the sentiment.
The sentiment. It was
Yeah.
a good attempt.
Anyway,
So I
what do you
think
got, Tom?
That's what should be on the line for Sunday. Whatever team wins, Carmi's going to become a fan of that team.
Oh,
How confident are you in your Broncos?
not. I would not risk that. I
Just
would
not.
not risk it.
Just not. I got predictions will be dropping, and then AFC North reaction to Week 6 will also be dropping today. Yesterday I put out power rankings and NFC North reaction as well. We rocking.
Point. Make sure you go check out Power Rankings. It went up early. It's already on here.
But folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. We'll be back on Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. This is GPS, and you have been navigated.
Reach your destination.